I'm unboxing the Startrc drone strobe light and the Arzroic sun hood shade and lanyard combo from Amazon for the DJI Mavic 3 Pro. And I will also show you the Semic P400 M3 TL drone case for the Mavic 3 Pro. Let's get to it. Welcome back. Today is an exciting day for me. I got to buy a couple accessories for my drone. And just like most men, I get real excited when I buy new toys off of Amazon. So I'm gonna go ahead and open them up. We're gonna unbox them. I'm gonna let you see what's inside of them. I'm gonna install them on the drone and the controller. I'm gonna show you that box. We got some good stuff coming ahead, so stick around and watch it. Now let's get into the first one. The first one I'm gonna open today is going to be the controller shade hood. This one I'm really excited about. It's very hard to see the controller when you're out and about and when the sun's shining on it real hard. So this hood is supposed to cover the screen and shade the screen so you're able to see the screen a whole lot better out in daylight. Also, it folds up and it protects the screen, at least that's what they said on Amazon. It's supposed to protect the screen and protect the controller, and you don't have to take the little joysticks off either. So I'm really excited about this one and how it's going to work. So obviously opened up the box there, and I'm going to pull it out so we can get a look at it and see what's going on. All right, blam blam. We got a box in here, and we got the controller hood itself. I'm kind of wondering how this mounts up. It looks like it just slips into a slot, but we'll check that out here in a moment. Let's see what all else it comes with in this little box here. Grab my knife, blam. Open the box up and see what all comes in it. I can't imagine there's a whole lot in here. Well, there is the lanyard. I forgot that even came with it, so that's a nice little bonus. We'll install that onto the controller as well. And the swivel hooks for the lanyard onto the controller. I can see how the lanyard would be useful, so I'm kind of excited about it. And it also comes with this Allen wrench screw thing, or Allen screwdriver, and I guess that's for putting in the lanyard and helping tighten those things up. So I'm going to set this one aside and we'll install it here in a little bit. That way we can install everything all at once and I don't have to keep moving things around. I'm going to toss this box on the floor over here and we'll open up this one, which has to be the strobe lights. And when you're flying in twilight or you're flying at night, you have to have a strobe on the top of your drone that can be seen for 3 statute miles. So I purchased these because during camping and stuff, I'm planning on flying my new Mavic 3 Pro, and I'm excited about it, but I wanted to get some strobes so I can be all legit and legal when I'm out there flying in the woods at night. So it comes in a little box. They're not very big strobes. Grab my knife and cut the tape there. They're not very big strobes, but they weren't overly expensive either. I'm going to put the links to both of these items and the case down in the description below in case you want to go take a look at them, or if you want to buy them, that's great. I do make a small commission off of any purchases from those links. In full disclosure, I can't tell you how these items really are going to function out in the field until I have a chance to use them. So maybe I'll do a review on them a little later on in another video. But if you want to go check them out, the links are in the description below. All right, so in that box we have the 2 strobes, which are LED strobes. They're supposed to be able to be seen at over 3 statute miles. I don't know if they're charged already. I'm kind of looking at them trying to figure out where the on, that's the on button. So the light came on, so I'm guessing, ooh. So that's pretty bright. And you can change, oh, there we go. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty bright. I think that's going to function quite well. You push and hold the button to turn it off, I'm guessing, and that seems to have worked. So the two strobes, it comes with a USB to USB-C charging cable to charge them up with. I'm not sure how long it says it takes to charge them. I can't imagine it would be too awful long. Or I also don't know how long they will actually last. So I will do a future video on these things to tell you how they work later on after I get a chance to use them. There are these two little rubber rings, and I assume that is to strap them to the legs of the drone if you want to. Also comes with some 3M Velcros. And this just looks like it's two-sided tape in case you wanted to permanently mount it to the drone. I do not want to permanently mount it to the drone. I want to be able to take it on and off as I need to. With the strobe on top of the drone, it might not fit in the case very well. But it looks like it comes with a choice of either or, and it looks like it comes with plenty enough of the Velcro things too, 4 of them, so if you end up screwing one up somehow. All right, so that's all the items that are in the boxes. So I'm going to take this moment to show you the Samick case. Now, I've had the Samick case for a while. The box opening, I didn't do an unboxing on that, but here it is. And it's a hard case, which is nice. I wanted something hard to protect the drone. I have a drone backpack as well that I use if I'm walking through the woods or, you know, doing some hiking with the drone. I'll use the backpack, but I wanted something hard so if it slides around in my Jeep when we're going down the trails and things, I don't want the drone to get damaged. So the case is actually pretty nice. It has these push down locks on the front. It has a place where you can place padlocks. Not sure what good that would do. If somebody's gonna steal the stuff inside the drone, they're just gonna grab the whole damn case and walk away with it, I would think. But it is there in case you needed it. I guess if you were taking it through an airport or something, maybe you would put a lock on it. But the case is actually a pretty nice case. It's sturdy, it's foam filled. It has the cutouts for the drone itself, the controller, batteries, accessories over here. There's 2 more battery slots there. The controller fits in here real well. There's room for lenses and stuff or a charger underneath. But the cool thing that I really liked about this case was it's multi-layered. It has handles and you can pull out, and underneath there's more compartments for batteries and things of that nature. iPad if you wanted to put one of those in there. So it's a really nice case. So far I'm liking it a lot. I would give it a thumbs up so far. I can't remember it costing too much money. Again, the link will be down in the description if you want to go check it out. All right, but it is a nice case. I'm liking it so far. So I'm going to pull the drone and the controller out so we can fit these new products to it and see how they fit on and see how they work. Can't really test the strobes other than turning them on like we already did, but we'll see how they mount to the drone and see how they look on there, and hopefully they look pretty cool and function well. All right, so let's start with the controller. I have the RC controller with the screen built onto it, but again, when the sun hits the screen, it's a pretty good screen, but when the sun hits the screen, it's really hard to see. So most of the time I'm trying to hide behind my Jeep or hide behind a tree or something that can provide shade. So I'm really excited about this cover because it's something that stays on there all the time. You just kind of unfold it instead of something you have to constantly, you know, put on and take off. That part I didn't want to do. So I wanted something like I got here, and it does. I'm also excited about the fact I don't have to take off the joysticks to be able to mount this thing or to utilize it. So I think it goes on like this. Okay, all right, yeah, it does go on like that, and then there's screw holes down here. So that must be, yep, there's little tiny screws in this pack, so that's what those were for. And that handy dandy Allen screwdriver. So I'm gonna pour the screws out here on my mat. And they look like they hand screw in for the most part. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the extra controller handles in there because I don't want them to get lost, and they're small, and I guess I could put them in the case, but all right, so this just kind of snaps down in there like so. Then you take these screws and screw them on there. And the screws have a little finger ribs for you to finger tighten. So you don't even need that handy dandy screwdriver. I kind of like that idea because if I do need to take this off for any reason out in the field, I don't need that little screwdriver. So already I'm liking it. Let me unfold it here. So we got a screw, ooh, all right. Already I'm liking it. The little screwdriver obviously does the Allens for this here too. So I'm gonna tighten that one up a little bit just so it stands up and I don't have to worry about it flopping over. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten the screw a little bit more, just to secure that a little tighter, because I want to be able to move it with my hand, but I don't want it flopping around. All right, so yeah, that would block a lot of sun. It's got this extra hood over here. You could even bend it down if you needed to like this. And the joysticks still have full function. There's room for your thumbs in there. They kind of go in these holes where the joysticks are, but that seems to work okay. I like the idea you can just fold this over and then you fold that down and it protects the screen of the controller. So that part's actually nice. Seems like it's built out of good quality plastic. It's not going to break easy, but it's not something you're going to be slamming around anyway. So the installation was easy and the functionality seems to be pretty good. I'll let you know if I have any problems with it using it out in the field, but so far I would give this item a thumbs up. It wasn't very much money. It was pretty low cost from what I can recall, and yeah, you still got all the functions of all the buttons. All right, so let's go ahead and stick the lanyard on there too. We might as well get that on there and see what it looks like as well. It's always exciting to get new stuff and new toys. I like camera equipment and I like drones and I like accessories that go on the stuff, and I always try to make my stuff as functional as I can possibly make it and as easy to use as I can possibly make it, because when you're out in the woods and you're out on the trails in Colorado and you're recording stuff, and it's you want to make the process as easy as possible so you can get as much content as you can get while you're out there and make it as comfortable and easy and practical. Those things are nice. So obviously the only thing you need this little screwdriver for is to tighten up the hinge if you want to tighten it up a little bit. All right, got the first one on there. Let me go ahead and stick this one on there too. All right, so I'm gonna screw this second one in here real quick. Goes into the bottom of the controller here. Now I'm hoping that the lanyard has hooks on it so I don't have to keep that on there all the time, because I don't think the controller would fit. In my case it does. All right, nice. So it's got nice little hooks. hook onto it, so it makes it easy to take on and off. That way I can fit my controller in my case without a problem. And here we go. All right. So far, so good. I would give the sunshade and lanyard combination made by Arzroic, A-R-Z-O-I-C. I would give it a thumbs up. So far, I'm very happy with it. Again, I'll do another video about it and review these items in a later video so we can see how they actually function out in the field. All right, next up is the strobes. I gotta go ahead and pull my lens cover off of the drone here. I'm gonna open it up real quick just so I can set it down here on the mat. All right, cool. The Mavic 3 Pro. I'm very excited about it. I just picked this one up this year. Up until that point, I have been flying the DJI. Up until that point, I've been flying the DJI Air 2S. And to me, that was a great drone. With the 1-inch sensor, it took great video. But I wanted to upgrade, and I did this year, so I went with the Mavic 3 Pro, even though the Air 3S is out now. It was the Hasselblad camera on this one that just tempted me to go that route instead of the Air 3S. So I wanted the bigger Micro Four Thirds sensor. All right, I'm just pulling apart the Velcro, and I'm going to put the hook side on the drone itself. I want to kind of center it in the middle so it don't affect the center of weight of the drone. I mean, this thing's tiny to start with, so I don't think it's going to affect the center of gravity of the drone much, but might as well put it right in the middle. All right, so first part is to stick the part on the drone. I'm not going to bust out a tape measure or anything, but I'm just going to kind of guesstimate. Stick it on there. I do have a little strobe for my Air 2S, but it's not these ones. It was another one, and it worked pretty well. Real small compared to these even. But it did work pretty well, and still does work pretty well. But I wanted to get some that were a little bit brighter, and these seem to be pretty bright. All right, next step is to put the other part on the light itself. Peel back the sticky paper. And shape. They've already pre-shaped the Velcro pads to the light itself, so that's pretty much it. And stick that baby on there. And it seems pretty secure. I don't think it's going to fly off unless I run into something, and if I run into something, that's going to be bad anyway. All right, I got 2 of these because you have to have one on top per the regulations, and so other aircraft can see you while you're flying around at night. The second one, I was thinking of maybe mounting on the bottom here to illuminate from the bottom, so when I'm flying at night, it'll help me to locate where the drone is up in the air. I mean, the drone has little lights on it, but once you get far enough away, it starts becoming a little hard to see. So I'm thinking of mounting it right there. It's a little forward on the drone, but I don't want it to get in the way of any of the sensors. And it even kind of gets in the way there. Maybe. So, I'm gonna have to think about that one a little bit, because the sensor, even if I mount it, I don't want it getting in the way of the gimbal. And it appears that it wouldn't get in the way of the gimbal if I go a little forward with it. I don't think I'm gonna mount it there. I'm just worried about it getting in the way of the sensors. I don't want the sensors blocked in any way, shape, or form, because that's one of the advantages of having this drone, is the ability to, the sensors that are on it for obstacle avoidance and the return to home functions, and that all relies on those sensors. So I don't want to cover them at all. And this appears to be just a little bit too big for the bottom. So I may have to get a couple other lights, or maybe I could do that. I could mount it to one of the legs, one of the arms on the drone, and use the little rubber circles that came around with it. That might be what I do, but that's something you got to do on site, because you won't be able to close the arms or put it in a case with it on there. So that being said, I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Use these little rubber things that will strap to the to the arms of the drone. That's what these hooks are on there for. So you hook around those, then stretch it around the arm, and hook it back to itself. And that's pretty tight. All right, so that functions pretty well. That's not too bad. You use the little rubber things. And it only took a second to install, so that would be fine for when I get out in the field. I can put on both of them rather easily. All right, cool. I would have to say thumbs up on those as well. So both of those products I think are pretty nice products so far. We'll see how they last, and we'll see how they function out in the field. Again, if you want to check any of this stuff out, the links are down below in the description. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and if you want to see some videos on camera equipment, go ahead and click over here and check out our Camera Corner series. And until next time, keep your batteries charged and your eyes on your drone.